So you're looking to prove your SolidWorks skills and give your engineering career a serious boost. Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the entire journey to becoming a Certified SolidWorks Professional, or CSWP. It's a benchmark that can really change the game for your career. Let's dive in.
First things first, why even bother with this? Because let's be real, in the super competitive world of design and engineering, a certification isn't just a piece of paper. It's a loud and clear signal to employers that you have skills that are verified and up to industry standards.
And that signal, it has some very real value. According to PayScale, someone with a CSWP in the US earns, on average, $86,000 a year. That is a powerful number, and it shows you the real-world demand for this level of expertise.
All right, here's our roadmap. We're going to cover 6 key areas to get you there. We'll kick things off with why you should get certified, then look at the different levels. After that, we'll decode the exam itself, go through a full prep guide, cover what happens on exam day, and finally, talk about unlocking your potential.
So, let's start with the most important question of all. What's the point of this journey? You know, understanding your motivation is absolutely key to putting in the hard work. The payoff here is huge. Getting certified instantly makes you a more attractive candidate. It opens doors to more job opportunities and, like we just saw, higher salaries. It gives you instant credibility and acts as this international benchmark of your skills, helping you really stand out to hiring managers who are actively looking for top talent. Okay, so where does the CSWP actually fit into the bigger picture? It's not the starting line and it's not the finish line. Think of it as a critical milestone on a really well-defined path to becoming a true expert. SolidWorks really has 3 core levels. You've got the CSWA, the associate level, which is the foundation. It's perfect for students and beginners. Then there's the CSWP, our focus today, which is the professional benchmark. And way up at the top, you've got the CSWE, the expert level. That's the pinnacle for the most seasoned pros out there. So what's the real difference between those first 2 steps? Well, the CSWA is all about your fundamentals, but the CSWP, that's a major leap. It is designed for professionals who are using the software day in and day out, and it demands a really deep understanding of complex design changes, configurations, and some pretty advanced analysis. All right, let's get into the main event, the CSWP exam itself. I know it seems like a big challenge, but trust me, it becomes so much more manageable once you really understand how it's all put together. The whole exam is broken into 3 separate segments. And here's the cool part. You can take them in any order you want. Once you pass a segment, it's credited to you for life. So you've got 70 minutes for part modeling, 50 for configurations, and 80 for assemblies. And each one has its own passing score. Now, segment 1 is often the biggest hurdle for people. It's not just about copying a drawing. It's about translating a 2D technical drawing into a fully parametric 3D model. This is what tests the real core of your modeling skills. Can you build intelligent parts that are designed for future changes? In this segment, you're not just building a part from a drawing. The key is how you build it. They expect you to use parametric tools, things like link dimensions and global variables. You'll be applying advanced features, managing multi-body parts, and through it all, making sure your mass property calculations are dead-on accurate. And here is a piece of advice that you absolutely need to hear. The exam is designed to test your efficiency. If you're not using equations to link dimensions, you literally will not have enough time to make the changes they ask for. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's essential if you want to pass. Okay, let's move on to segment 2. This part of the exam shifts gears. You're not creating a part from scratch anymore. Now it's all about intelligently managing different variations of a part that already exists. So here, they're going to test your ability to create different versions of a part, all within a single file, using configurations. This means you'll be suppressing features, driving changes with Excel-based design tables, and this is a big one, modifying a part by understanding its history without causing one of those catastrophic rebuild errors we all dread. And now for the final segment, the one that brings everything together. It's not about individual parts anymore. It's about how they all interact in a complex, moving, dynamic assembly. For this one, you'll be given a set of parts and asked to build an assembly. This means you've got to master advanced and mechanical mates, you need to know how to make subassemblies flexible so they can show motion, and you'll have to perform crucial analysis like interference detection. And just like the other segments, you'll need to report precise calculations, but this time for the assembly's center of mass. Knowing what's on the exam is half the battle. So now, let's talk about how you actually prepare for it. Think of this as your training montage.
With so much to cover, you need a structured approach. You can't just practice randomly and hope for the best. You need a focused game plan.
So here's your toolkit. First, definitely start with the official sample exams. They give you a perfect feel for the format. Make sure you've truly mastered everything in the Essentials course. Then, dive into the Advanced Part and Assembly Modeling courses. They map directly to the exam segments. And to really build up your speed, the My SolidWorks videos and the annual Model Mania challenges are just fantastic resources.
Okay, you've prepared, you're feeling ready. Let's walk through the final logistics of actually taking the exam and what happens after you're done.
This is a question that comes up constantly. You put in all this effort, you pass the exam, but how long is it actually valid for? And the answer is fantastic news. SolidWorks certifications do not expire. Once you earn your CSW, you are a CSW for life. The investment you make in yourself today is permanent.
But what if a segment doesn't go as planned? Hey, it happens. Don't panic. There's a mandatory 14-day waiting period before you can retake that segment. The key here is to prepare as best you can for the first try, but know that you do have a safety net, and you can try again after a short cooldown.
And this brings us full circle. We started with the why, and now we end with the reward. The real, tangible impact this certification can have on your professional life.
This chart pretty much says it all. Having a CSWP is a key qualifier for roles from design engineer all the way up to senior mechanical engineer. And as you can see, the salaries grow right along with your expertise. It's not just a certificate, it's a foundation for your entire career path. And when you pass, you're not just getting a certificate. You are joining a massive global community of nearly 1 million certified SolidWorks users. That is a powerful network for professional connections and future opportunities.
So there you have it. You have the map, you have a breakdown of the challenge, and you have the preparation guide. The path to becoming a certified SolidWorks professional is laid out for you, and the rewards are waiting. The only question left is, are you ready to begin?
For free CSWP practice test, you can either click the link in the description or simply scan the QR code on the screen.